Alright guys, I got some juniper bark here, dry, it's off a juniper tree. I'm going to make a little nest and then try to get a fire going with magnifying glass. I'm not going to do too big of a nest, I just need something to get a little flame going, and I got enough vines here to get the rest going. So there's a little bird nest. I'm actually going to process some of this stuff on top of my hat. I just take it like this and I rub it together. Okay. You see that? Vines. Stick the little bird nest in here. I'm going to put some more vines on top of it, on the top of the nest. This looks pretty flammable. Okay, that big, nice big magnifying glass. Try to do this where y'all can see it. And I'm just going to let that smoke for a minute. A bit more. I really don't have good enough vines yet, but I'm going to cheat with this. There we go. I'll throw that in the fire and put some sticks on it. I'll be right back. Go ahead. Alright guys, there's the fire. Got it going. About to cook some rice and some salt pork. We'll see how it goes. Make a little pork fried rice. It's a little MSR pot. Carry rice in there. A couple zip fizz. Partial stick of butter. And what I'm going to do, pour a little water in here. Put this lid on. Flip that over. If you lock the lid down, it kind of pressure cooks it. And set that on there. I haven't really ever used that stove, so I'm kind of interested to see how that works. Let's see, next I'm going to pull out a little cutting board. Got some salt pork. Really good stuff. My other knives here. Just gonna get me a couple pieces of this out. When I make pork fried rice, I separate the meat from the fat. Just cut the meat off, and we'll cut the fat just into nice little strips. That, dice the fat up. Keep the meat separate for right now. To keep checking this camera, make sure it's not timing out on me or something. Cube that all up. I don't know if you can see that or not. Cubed up. Alright. Put that fattiness in this pan right here. A little small, I don't know if it's a 6 or a 4, probably 4-inch cast iron pan. Don't mind the weight. Okay. Put that in there. Take one more piece of salt pork. Do the same thing. Cut the fat off of it. Well, it's all basically fat, but the fattiest part I'm going to cut off. Cut this into cubes. Okay. And throw all that in the pan. And what the heck, I'm going to do one more piece. One more piece. Again, just kind of cut the fat off. Cut this into little cubes again. Put all that in the pan. Now what I'm going to do, take a chunk of this butter. Put a chunk of that in there. And put this on the coals. And I'll show you what it looks like here in a few. There, you can see it kind of diced up. Some butter in there. All fat. That's going to give me a bunch of grease that I'll later cook into the rice to make the pork fried rice. So, stay with me. I'm going to show you what this looks like here in just a minute. Alright, what I went ahead and did was I cut the meatier parts of the salt pork up in little chunks too, and when this fat starts to render down, I'm going to throw it in there with it. You can see the fat is already starting to cook there. You have to make sure it don't catch on fire. But I'll show you what that looks like when it's brown. Alright, this is after 6 minutes of cooking this salt pork down. You can see it's turning kind of crispy. A lot of fat in there now, broken down, turned into grease. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add the meatier parts to it. So we're going to now add these right here. Sorry about the camera work. Let me actually, well, alright, now I can see what I'm doing. Alright. Just going to stir this up here. It's a little hot. You can see how it's turning nice and brown now. Alright, I'm going to let that go for a few more minutes, and I might actually put the pot of water over there. I think it's cooking a little hotter in the fire than on my little stove I got going, so I'll be right back. That salt pork is about where I want it. It's nice and golden brown and looking delicious. So I'm gonna pull this off here now and throw the rice pot on there. It's gonna be here. It's started to boil a little bit. I mean, it's got little bubbles in it, but it's not really where I want it to be yet, so throw it over here. Get some fresh coals going. Alright. Alright, the water's starting to boil, so I'm going to add some rice and let that cook for a couple. Okay, just added some rice. Rinsed the rice, so it shouldn't take but probably 8 to 10 minutes or something. And I'm going to put the top back on. Ooh, look at that. Salt pork. Tastes almost like bacon. Might even have a little hot chocolate with dinner. Pour some water in my cup here. Actually, let's take them clean. Well, got more water in it than I want a hot chocolate, so take that. This is a little stove I was trying out today. It's actually part of a fondue kit, but wasn't getting good air, so I'm going to have to do some modifications to that if I want it to work. Do have this nice little grill though, what I'm going to use for a grill. And move this aside. Pull me some coals out. Set the little grill on there, and hopefully the water won't put the coals out on the way to the cup. Rice is dancing in there now. Definitely hasn't been 7 to 10 minutes though. Or 8 to 10 or whatever it is. Here in southwest Utah, sun's going down. Nice little area. No snow right here. Hilltop's kind of facing the south, so gets good sun during the day and melts everything out. Some of our common trees again are juniper, pinyon pine right over there, yellow rubber rabbit brush, a little tongue twister there. See if I can find anything else. More rabbit brush over that way. I saw some ephedra earlier, but I don't see any here. Yep. Take a look at that rice again. Give it a few more minutes, and then we'll add, boil the water off of it, and add the salt pork, which is here, getting a little cool, but it'll warm back up. Alright, hot chocolate water is getting there. Got some little bubbles. I don't want it boiling. I want to be able to drink it. Rice is almost done. I had to add a little more water to it. It was getting dry. Didn't burn, but got dry. Wasn't cooking anymore, so starting to boil again. So it'll be a few more minutes. I guess 8 to 10 minutes only works if you put enough water in it to boil in 8 or 10 minutes. Yep, stay with me. Just gonna drain this water off real quick. I'm just gonna pour it in here. I'm almost done with these coals, so not too worried about it. not staying here all night. Otherwise I wouldn't have really poured that water on the fire and put out my fire, but I'm just eating dinner and then I'm going to get moving again. Alright, so the rice is done, and I'm going to add a little more butter to that, and then I'm heating that salt pork back up just a little bit. Okay. Butter's in. Butter's in. Mixing the butter in to the rice. Put my lid back on. Keep it warm. And I'm not keeping this fire going, so I'm letting it die down, but I've got a really nice coal bed right now. Set that back on there. Heat that salt pork up just a little bit. So it started to sizzle a minute ago. I lifted it off. Okay. Alright, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to pour all this grease, salt pork, all that right in there. Yummy, yummy. I'm going to mix it all up. You can see it's kind of turning the rice kind of browner. It was instant brown rice to begin with, but that grease is getting to it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the lid off, throw it on these hot coals, and just cook it a little bit more. I'm going to try this hot cocoa water. That's warm enough too. Pull this off, bring it right over here, I'll pull my little grill off, let it cool down, and find my hot cocoa powder. I think is in here. Yep, some Stevens Gourmet. Just kidding, gourmet hot chocolate. Alright, gonna add my hot cocoa in here. Tastes chocolatey. Okay, now let's check on this pork fried rice. You can hear it sizzling, so grease is getting to that rice. I'm just gonna brown it up a little more. Could probably throw it back in the cast iron, but cast iron won't hold this much rice. Probably would fry a little better, but it's that. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. Take care of my trash real quick. Alright. Sticking a little bit to the sides, which is alright with me. I want it to turn brown. I want it to burn just a little bit. Still got some big chunks of log in here, so I'm gonna go gather some little stuff here in just a minute to burn that down. Still going good. Pick up some of these little twigs. This stuff here is old dead juniper. It's really dry. And it burns pretty hot, so I don't know if it's hotter than pine really, but it burns quicker than pine. So I'm going to throw it in here to burn these bigger logs down so that when I get ready to get out of here, I don't have huge coals to crush. It'll give me a little light because it is probably going to be dark by the time we're done eating. Alright. Well, that's about where I want that. Got the right consistency. Look in there. Let's see, the pork, rice, it's kind of sticky. Not really sticky, but sticky enough. Well, that's about it. I'm going to eat this and then clean up. I might do a little video on that. You can clean your gear up with what's out here. And then I'm going to pack up and head out. Thanks for watching. Well guys, this is better than I remembered it. A lot better. Who needs Mickey D's, you know? Hear the ravens in the background? Probably hungry. Well, wasn't really planning on eating dinner out here tonight, but I always carry some food with me, just in case, and I didn't eat lunch, so I was kind of hungry. It's been a while since I got to dig a fire and eat around it, or dig a fire pit and build a fire and then eat on it. So, I talked to my wife a little bit ago. I told her I was making pork fried rice, so that's for you there, honey. Should have brought some onion or garlic. That'd have been good with it. It's good right there. Starting to get a little cold. It's probably in mid 30s right now, maybe mid to upper 30s. But we got about, well, the sun just dropped down behind those mountains, so we probably have 10, 15 minutes. Well, probably closer to 30 before it's dark. Should give me time to crush those coals and make it out before it's too dark. Oh, forgot about the hot chocolate. Gotta have that. Whoever that Steven guy was, he knew what he was doing with the hot chocolate. Yeah. Kind of weird talking to a camera. And one of them iPhones that all this is being recorded on. iPhone S, 4S or something like that. 4S, yeah. I think S is for Siri. Some kind of something on there. You can push a button and ask her questions and she'll give you the answers. I tried talking to her once. She's not sarcastic enough for me. Kind of monotone too. Just personality's not that great, I don't think. Well, this is great. Delicious. Not too salty. A little bit of salt in it from the salt pork, but not overly salty. I might edit most of this out, just so you don't sit there and watch me eat. It's kind of rude. Or maybe now that you know that I know that it's rude, maybe I'll leave it in there. Just make the video a little longer. I'm going to try to do more of these little videos. Bushcraft videos. Get some more snow on the ground, I'll do some more snowy stuff, wintry stuff. Shelters. Melting snow for water. If you have suggestions, leave them in the comments and I'll just do videos that way maybe. But kind of fun doing this and motivates me to come out here and do it some more. Well, got about 2 spoons worth left. That does it for me. You can see there's kind of some burnt stuff in there. I'll show you how to get that off. The easy way. go. Let me wash my spoon off in the hot chocolate. It's probably a little gross, but doesn't taste bad. Alright. Put my spoon there. I'll show you a little trick to clean this pot. Move my tripod here, right? Okay, got that. Pour just a little bit of water in there. Not very much. Then what I'm going to do, just rub my finger around in there. You can see that it leaves it kind of, because of all the grease, it just smears. So that, I don't know how well you can see that, but it smears. So then what you can do, that I like to do, is I usually use this lid and just scoop a little bit of this dirt right here. Dump that in. A couple scoops of that. And then it's over here. Grab some junie bark. This is off the juniper tree. This is the outer white layer. Doesn't really hurt the tree any. Okay. Then you just kind of fold it over like that, and you get it wet. And then what you do is you just smear that dirt around in there. Smear that dirt around. It's hard to do in hand. Okay. Just smear that in there, and you can feel it grab on the spots that are got a little burn on them. That rice stuck to them. First time I ever saw this, I was like, this is crazy. We're going to clean our pot with dirt. But hey, where we are out here, there ain't a whole lot going on, so dirt's probably not really that dirty. Plus, when you boil your water again, you make your next meal, kind of cleans everything out in there anyway. Kills all the germs, if there is any germs. Alright, so then you end up with basically a mud ball. I'm gonna drop that in there. Alright, you can see it's still a little bit wet in there. This, make sure I got it all. Yeah. So this, I'm just going to throw into the fire, let that burn up. And then what I'm going to do is take one more scoop of dirt. I'm just going to bounce it around in there. Well, what that does is it sticks to any of the moisture you have left in the pot, which you can see where the heavier moisture spots were. And again, just take my finger, rub around in here, scrub all that dirt off. If it gets real cold, you don't want to do this for too long. Get your fingers wet, get them cold. Alright, you see all that dirt just right there. And